Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome to Smark, guys, for Saturday, October 12th, 2013. I'm Darkside Phil, and with me, as always, is John Rambo.
Well, let me tell you something, DSP brother. That's all I got.
Okay, so welcome. We've got some big news in wrestling this week. We've got coming off of a quite horrendous WWE Pay-per-view, which both of us, by the way, completely predicted how bad it was going to be.
Well, we're not the only ones, so you can't really take credit for predicting that. When I think mostly everyone.
I'll take credit. I
think mostly everyone saw that coming. But.
Yeah, I think we knew. Raw SmackDown developments. We've got a major return in TNA. TNA with their building up to the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, which is actually a real pay-per-view for the first time in like months. They're actually doing one in a couple weeks. So we got lots of stuff to talk about, so let's just get right into it, because we're going to probably be going a little bit longer than usual. Battlegrounds pay-per-view, John.
I asked last week what was worse, Battlefield Earth or Battlegrounds.
I just don't know what went right with this pay-per-view, seriously. Like, how could it be any... Could it have been any worse than what actually happened?
Well, what I've seen, I think there's things on it people actually enjoyed, but then the last thing that they gave them was just, you know... Another kick in the balls for your $50-something.
Awful, man. So,
you think about it, it's an investment of money, yeah, but it's an investment of time, because the thing's hours long, and you're getting emotionally invested in the storyline. I guess some people have. I don't really see how you could, but no, we're following a thing. What's going to happen here? I'm giving you my time, my
months
my
of build up, and here it is. All my time invested, and
if the title is vacant, what will happen? And then you just,
right.
Just watch tomorrow. Watch Raw tomorrow.
Yeah.
This is a commercial for Raw.
Wow. So basically what happened is this. Pretty much every match either had a botch or was just a horrible outcome. Horrible outcome. With power outages. The only match that I've heard, now I don't know because I didn't see the pay-per-view. We both said we were not going to watch this pay-per-view. It sounded like a shit card. The only match that I've heard was good was the Rhodes Brothers versus the Shield. I heard that was a pretty good... the Shield always does a great job. We know that.
We also said that would probably be the only thing I'd want to see on the show.
And what ended up happening was that Cody and Goldust won, therefore regaining their jobs with the WWE, and so now they're going to be on WWE TV probably quite a lot in the next few... I'm assuming this plotline's continuing, you know what I mean? It's like the McMahons versus the Rhodes family.
They had Cody's wife now. They had her on the, the app, whatever is that what they call this, the app? I don't know.
Yes, the WWE app, yes.
And so they're starting to, like, maybe bring her into it. So we'll see what happens with that.
Huh.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the other matches.
Okay, sure.
Apparently Bray Wyatt tried to do a spider walk and failed miserably, and everyone laughed at him. That was supposedly something that happened.
A spider walk.
The weird, exorcist backwards crab walk or whatever you want to call it.
He was a big man. I mean, that's supposed to be tough for him to do that.
The power went out at one point during the pay-per-view.
That was Brad Maddox's fault.
Brad Maddox tripped on the wire.
He was blamed for it, yes.
He tripped on the power wire. The power went out during the pay-per-view. I didn't see the RVD match, and I can't even really find much information on what actually happened with this match.
I heard that was actually really good.
Yeah.
That was a really good match, and he tapped. He put his arm in the with the arm lock or whatever.
Yeah.
And he tapped apparently or something like that.
And as you said, as you actually said, he is gone. Yeah, they actually said the next night on Raw that RVD is gone.
They just said he's gone.
They said they said that there's an exclusive on the WWE app where he did an interview right after the match, and he said he's going to search for himself spiritually, and maybe he wasn't ready to come back full time.
I'm sure that he came back too early.
He came back right, exactly. So he's going to take some time off to think about things.
Was not long enough.
So
I'll be back for that. That in Jericho too, like that Rumble to Mania loop. Which
the build up, right.
Which is where those guys get paid a lot of money and
to do right.
People are actually watching the shows and
Okay, so RVD lost clean, and then of course the main event that everyone was waiting for, the build up. You had this vacant WWE title, and you're supposed to have this big build up match where you're finally going to have a champion after months of not having a legit one. And of course, it's exactly what we predicted. We said it's going to be some kind of a crap ending, a no contest, because they want to build to Hell in the Cell. You can't have a champion because they want to build to Hell in the Cell. That's exactly like to a T what happened. Big Show comes out of nowhere, knocks out Daniel Bryan. Then Randy Orton goes for the pin. He pulls the ref out of the ring, knocks out the ref. Randy Orton complains. He knocks out Randy Orton.
And then they play his music like he's a hero. And people, apparently people chanted bullshit and booed him, and
it was basically everyone was demanding a refund. They're like, this bullshit. We pay all this money.
Yeah, some people had there's reports that people actually asked for refunds from their cable provider and some people got them as well. So that's pretty interesting.
So that was the pay-per-view, and coming off of that, it was, except for the Cody Rhodes angle, the Cody Rhodes Guild List angle, the pay-per-view was complete and utter filler. It was exactly what we said it was going to be. No, AJ apparently got hurt.
Yeah, concussion.
With this stupid match with Brie Bella. Gee, maybe you don't put a real wrestler in a ring with fucking Brie Bella then. You put her in a ring with another wrestler so she doesn't get a fucking concussion. You know what I mean? It was a terrible pay-per-view. And it was exactly as we thought. Just build up a filler pay-per-view for the next one, which is Hell in a Cell, which is only in 3 weeks. And again, why did this pay-per-view have to
2
happen?
weeks.
Well,
3 weeks from then.
From then.
Yeah.
2 weeks from now. Why did this pay-per-view even have to happen when you knew there was another one coming up? It just doesn't make sense. It really was a waste of time.
Yeah, and they're pretty much telling you don't bother with these pay-per-views.
Yeah,
because it's basically it's a commercial for Raw. They're using the pay-per-views to set up Raw, when traditionally it's Raw sets up the pay-per-view. Because you watch the free thing,
right,
and you like it so much, they go, I will pay for this other thing. But I don't see why you would pay for the free, the thing that sets up the free deal.
Right.
Does that make sense?
All right, so Monday Night Raw opens up. You know what's going to happen. It's going to be the McMahons, once again, opening the fucking show. So it's Stephanie this week.
You're getting 20 minutes of them, 15 minutes of Big Show crying, and
right.
Ray Orton for 5 minutes talking. And,
So Steph comes out, calls out the Big Show. Big Show comes out.
I call her Steph now. You guys on first name basis with each other now?
Steffi, actually. I call her Steffi.
Oh, wow, do you call her on the phone? And
yeah.
You guys talk?
Yes. She comes out, calls out Big Show. Big Show comes out. She basically says, listen, you're done. You from now on, you have no power. You have no free will. You're our puppet if you want your job. Beg for forgiveness. And Big Show basically says, I'm not going to beg. I did what I did because I'm tired. I'm fed up with your crap. And I'm not going to put up with this bullshit anymore. All right? So,
But how did this come about, though? Like, think about this. Like, he came out, he punched Brian, and then, 40 seconds later, he's like, no, now I'm changed. I will punch Orton now, and now I'm against this. When a week ago, they were saying we own your house and everything.
Right.
But now he doesn't care about any of this.
No.
In the 40 seconds from when he punched Brian until then he punched Orton, now he doesn't care about any of this shit anymore, and now he's okay.
I also would like to mention that it's absolutely illegal for someone else to pay off a mortgage and own it, if it's in your name. Legally, that debt would be the Big Show's.
Maybe they bought the house for him and they just let him live there.
Well, they can't. You can't do that.
Know.
Legally, you can't do that. Like, if I have a mortgage with the bank, if you have $1 million, can't call my mortgage company and say, I'm paying it off without his permission.
Yeah, but you legally can't, the COO attacked Brian and let Orton win, and they're also
I'm just
beating the shit out of people.
I'm just saying, some of the things in this plotline have been absolutely preposterous, okay?
And that's that's the thing, though. Like, why does Brian get all these shots, and then why don't they just, if they're allowed to, physically put your hands on the guy,
right?
But then they're saying, well, why does he get shots? Because it's contract stuff or something? Like, he has to have shots? But they can,
I don't know.
Screw the...
It doesn't make sense. So Big Show basically says, I was fed up. He said, now I knocked out Orton because I was tired of you, but I knocked out Brian because you told me to. And the whole crowd's like, ooh, he called him out that they told him to knock out Daniel Bryan. Stephanie denies it. Slaps the shit out. She's slapping him repeatedly, slapping to the face, and then basically says, you're fired. And he walks away. And that's the end of the segment. Okay? Woohoo. First match of the night was Dolph Ziggler versus Damian Sandow, which is a rematch of the pre-show the night before.
Again, I mean, this is something they also do. Not only do they undo a lot of the things that happen at the pay-per-views or act like the pay-per-views don't matter, they do the matches again.
Same match.
They did this last time too.
A
lot of times they're better.
Same match.
A lot of times they're better matches on Raw.
Yeah, why did they redo this? Dolph Ziggler goes over again. So again,
Dolph Ryder, you mean? Is that his new name?
Well, I guess
Dolph Ryder?
That's a good point. He's pretty much in the same position as Zack
Pretty
Ryder.
much, it's the same story again.
But they bury him. They bury Sandow even further. Now he's the Money in the Bank holder. Who would ever believe he has a chance of winning if he cashes that in when he has not won a match in so long now? It's ridiculous.
I believe that he could come out and lay on a guy's body and then do the typical Money in the Bank that they always do, which over and over again. But I don't think anyone's gonna care. I don't believe that.
Stupid. Natalya, JoJo, and Eva Marie.
Yeah, JoJo doesn't even come in the ring, so I guess she's not really a wrestler at all.
Yeah, and a six woman tag against Alicia Fox, Oksana, Rosa Mendez. Eva Marie looks terrible in the ring, by the way. Very, very green.
Man.
JoJo doesn't wrestle at all. It's pretty much all Natalya, and Natalya wins the match for them. So horrible match all around.
Los Matadores.
Oh, so did you see them in action, John?
I've never seen them. I've never seen
come on, John.
I'm tapped out, man.
John, Los Matadores.
I have not seen it.
El Torodino or
Torito.
Torito, is that what it is?
Yeah, El Torito.
I wonder if they spell it here. I've never even seen it.
Torito.
El Torito. I think he's the star of this group. Like they're not.
He's a real dude. He's a real Mexican wrestler.
Yeah.
He's gonna be there long after them, probably. He's like they put him in the segment I think before the pay-per-view. He was in the
really
in the pre-show. Like he's the Hornswoggle now. Like he's gonna be in a lot of these different segments.
Ole!
Is that what he does?
Ole! They do it randomly during the match. It's funny because they'll go Ole and the whole crowd just doesn't react. They're like, huh? Like what?
Yeah.
What is that? Ole? Huh?
I guess. All right, I'll do it.
So the Los Matadores, they go over 3-man band. It's very gimmicky. It reminds me of when Brodus Clay. When he was rebooted, you know? It's the same kind of gimmicky thing.
Dies out after 2-3 months.
Yeah, they'll probably have hype behind it for a couple months, and then they'll probably start having them jobs, so, you know.
There's also no tag teams, man, you know?
That's true. It's
just very frustrating. Like, they have guys that they could make teams with.
Yeah.
Antonio Cesaro, they got his former tag team partner in developmental. Like, put them together and have a great team that people would actually really like.
Right.
No, he's with Swagger. They fucking lose, and then have these Matadors come out. They're the team that we
have them dance with a fucking midget.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
This is WWE creative, John. This is how they work.
It's very frustrating.
Ryback calls out CM Punk. If you don't know, the match during the pay-per-view, Punk won, but he won because he got a low blow on Ryback off the ref didn't see it. So Ryback's calling him a bully again. You only beat me because you cheated. Blah blah blah. So Punk comes out. But of course, Curtis Axel's with Ryback, so this prompts R-Truth to come out, who had lost this Intercontinental title match on Sunday, and they have a tag match. CM Punk and R-Truth against Curtis Axel and Ryback. CM Punk and R-Truth go over. Nobody cares.
And they're doing that match again, too.
Yep, they're redoing CM Punk and Ryback again at Hell in a Cell.
Is it in a cell, or is it just the match?
I don't think they've officially
They've
said
yet.
They've
not got in there yet.
But as you know, with all these CM Punk matches, they always change the match 5 minutes before the pay-per-view anyway, so I'm sure it'll be like a fucking, you know...
Who knows?
Bully on a pole match or some shit, you know.
A bully on a pole.
On a pole. The bully stick will be suspended above the ring. Someone has to grab the bully stick and beat the other one with it or some stupid shit. Who knows? Randy Orton has a singles match against Kofi Kingston. I don't need to tell you who won that. We obviously know they're pushing Randy Orton to make him a legitimate contender for the WWE title. Alberto Del Rio is backstage with Stephanie Guerrero, I was about to say. Stephanie
Guerrero. Eddie's sister.
Anyway.
Who is a lucha star.
A lucha star, yes.
Yep.
All right. Del Rio's in the backstage with Vicky Guerrero, okay, who for some reason is on Raw because she says she has some special announcement to make, okay? And he basically says he's kissing her butt. He's saying, oh, you're so pretty and this and that. Because basically he doesn't want to have any kind of something crazy go down. Now that RVD's gone from the company, he doesn't want her to make some crazy new #1 contender for the title, okay? So she makes a match. It's going to be Alberto Del Rio against Ricardo Rodriguez, all right? So he's thinking, oh, it worked. Well, I said she was pretty or whatever. It worked. Haven't they
done that before with them?
Like 5,000 fucking times. Every person in the company has basically said Vicky Guerrero was good looking.
So they could get
get something, yes.
All the heels say that?
So they do this, and so he goes out to the ring. Ricardo comes out like, I don't want to wrestle, but he's being forced into this match. So they're both in the ring. As they're about to start the match, Vicky announces, oh, by the way, Del Rio, guess what? There's a new #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title, John Cena.
Yeah, people were like, some people thought it was like a ruse.
Yeah.
Or he's only been gone like a short amount of time.
It's only been about 2 months, I think.
But then he went on Twitter. He confirmed it.
Yep.
So he is back. The hero is back.
The man who always says he's going to be out for 6 months is back in 2, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a hero.
I
think they should have Superman. Even if he's like perfectly fine, right? I still would have held him off. because it means more when he comes back if the more time goes by.
Right.
So it's almost like he never really left. What's it been, 3 weeks? 4? By then it'll be, well, I think 6 by the time Hell in the Cell comes.
Yeah, he's been gone, let's see.
It's about 4, I think.
No, it's more than that. It's been about just under 2 months, I believe.
No.
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
It's been 2 pay-per-views, yeah.
There's 2 pay-per-views were a 3-week span.
No. They were. It was a month after SummerSlam was the next one.
So it'll be gone
and then
all
it was
September.
another like 2 or 3 weeks after that. So it was about just under 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, it's about 6, 7 weeks.
Yeah. That's right.
So it's almost like you never really left. You never really got any kind of. I mean,
right.
Here he is again.
Now, what do you think?
It's not really special when he comes back so quick.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on why they're putting John Cena into the world title picture.
There's nothing else to do
instead of the WWE title picture.
Well, the rumors that he's going to be on SmackDown, exclusive to SmackDown and the SmackDown tours. Because the SmackDown house show touring is pathetic. They brought they have people from NXT on there because it's just so the roster's so thin on that side. So that's one of the rumors. He'll be on SmackDown. That'll be his main thing, and that's why he'll have that
using
belt.
It as a boost for
he'll
that
have
brand,
that belt.
right?
I also just don't know what to do. They want to put him in a top match. They obviously have no idea what they're doing with Del Rio. I mean,
right, and they have no one for him
He's had a couple filler with Christian RVD. They were never going to beat him. That was those aren't real storylines or anything.
Right.
So I'll put him with him. Fucking, I don't know, do that. That's what they did, and I don't know. I think it's they screwed up. I think it was an opportunity for them while he was gone to build more guys, to kind of get him out of the way.
Yep.
Build some more people up. I don't think they really did it at all, and then bring him back and have it mean more as a surprise or as a big moment, a big return. But it's only been a few weeks. It's not really a big deal. And he's doing a fight Del Rio again when they had that match 1,000 times. So
the other thing I wanted to ask, because it's not related to any of the results, what do you think about how every superstar is wearing a pink shirt now?
That's fine. I mean, I don't know.
See, I'm okay with it because it's a good cause, but it just looks weird. Like the heels are coming out with pink shirts on, and you're like, does that really support the character? But it's good. It's good to know that at least there's good intentions behind it, and even though it does screw up some of the the storylines, because obviously the heel supporting this, at least it's a good thing the company's doing, and I do support that.
It's a good thing that they're doing. I don't think they have to put in your face. Like they want it on the screen all the time. That's why they do that.
Of course.
They're like, we want the whole show.
Right.
No matter what point you come on to watch, like you're gonna know how good we are.
Right.
I mean, they're a $1 billion company. I mean, they should be doing stuff like that.
Well, last year they raised $1 million. $1 million for the Susan G. Komen. They're hoping to do more this year by having every T-shirt this month be pink. Well, I guess we'll have to see what happens with that.
I don't know.
I think they're nervous because Cena's not here this month. You know what I mean? So they're like last year.
They don't care about like,
Cena.
oh, this guy's a heel. This doesn't make sense. They don't give a shit. Like at the end of the show, Big Show comes out. He was fired. He comes out with his music.
Well, and we'll talk about that.
His music's on. And blah, blah, blah. I mean, they don't.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, they don't. They don't care about like certain things like that. The mystique of the characters or anything. It's all
So anyway, just getting back to the point, because I know we kind of went off the mark there for a second. So as Vicky announces this, the match starts. Ricardo drop kicks Del Rio in the back of the head, and then rolls him up and botches the pin. It's hilarious because he goes for it, right? But the shoulder's not down, so it's supposed to be a quick 1, 2, 3. But the refs are now instructed if the shoulder's not down, not to count. So he's holding him. Del Rio can't get out, but the ref's not counting.
So
he's sitting there like,
it just makes it look even worse.
Like this. And finally, Del Rio puts his shoulder down and he counts to 3. It was really awkward. So Ricardo
what a great way to set up this match. You have John Cena coming back, and Del Rio gets pinned by a non-wrestler. In that world, a ring announcer. So I was like, geez, I wonder what's going to happen in this match.
Well, but John, of course, in traditional WWE fashion, anti-bullying.
Beats the shit out of him, yeah.
Del Rio beats the living shit out of Ricardo after the match. He's like, oh, be a star. Be a star.
What happens to Ricardo now? Is he going to be with someone else? Is he with John Cena now?
I'm sure now they're going to say he's out because he's so injured, from Del Rio. That's why they did that.
He'll go back to NXT and stay there for a while.
Okay. Fandango has a singles match with Zack Ryder. We'll skip that.
Yeah?
What the hell?
The Wyatt family?
This is weird. Look at this result. The Real Americans ... That's what they're listing. Well, anyway,
they had the same match again that they had on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
and he did the spin,
the same spot again
to Khali.
So this was a match we didn't simulate because they didn't announce it. It was they just decided to have it at the pay-per-view. It was the Real Americans against Khali and Santino, and Cesaro hit the giant swing on Khali, And then he does it again on Raw. So again, to your point, why did I pay for the pay-per-view when they did the same fucking match on Raw the next night anyway? I didn't miss anything, right?
I don't see how you could buy any of their pay-per-views, honestly. Like, if they give you non-finishes, or a finish that's undone, like, how do you trust them with your cash? How do you go, here's $50-something, I'm going to get a good show?
Right.
Because I think that's what you'd expect if you pay that much money, right? I'm going to get some kind of something. But how do you trust a company like that does that? How do you do it? How do you put the money down like that?
I don't know. I do not know. Okay, so the Wyatt family crashes Miz TV, beats the shit out of Miz. Woohoo. And then the main event of the night was Daniel Bryan, Cody Rhodes, and Goldust against The Shield. Yeah. And Triple H announced that he was going to the ring for this match to make sure there was no kind of interference or anything going on. He wanted to be sure that this match was legit, okay? So, basically, the match is a pretty good match until all of a sudden, about halfway through the match, one of the Shield grab a chair and strike Cody Rhodes with it.
Yeah.
So things are breaking down. Triple H says, no, I'm not going to allow this match to end that way. We're going to restart the match. It's now a no DQ match. So they start going, and of course, then the Shield already beat the shit out of everyone with chairs and stuff. So, you know, they're getting the upper hand. Then all of a sudden, Daniel Bryan has a rally, right? He's coming back. He comes out of the ring, and all of a sudden, Randy Orton comes out of the crowd and RKO's him, which is legal now, okay?
What is legal? Come out of the crowd?
And RKO him because it's no DQ.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So then he gets pinned, and then basically Triple H goes in the ring and says, that's it. All right, finish them. So they're about to,
finish them.
They're about to destroy Daniel Bryan, right? And as he's about to destroy Daniel Bryan, the Big Show comes out. You're like, what? Now, he got fired earlier in the night.
With his tights on?
Yeah, still has his tights on.
2 hours later.
Someone's still playing the music, even though he's fired, and they shouldn't be playing it, right? So he comes down to ringside,
Part of the magic.
Clears the ring, you know, destroys the Shield, clears the ring, and knocks out Triple H. And now what they've been saying all week is that, oh, Triple H is seriously hurt. The rumor is he may have a concussion. He might have to have his jaw wired shut.
And honestly, that'd be the best thing, just to like take him off the show for like a couple weeks, maybe. To take both of them off. Takes him and Stephanie off the show for like 2-3 weeks.
Right.
Just because it's just overkill and everyone's burned out on them, doing the same routine every week after week. So that wouldn't be bad. But I think what it might be is like we were talking about the day after the Smark after SummerSlam, where Vince is going to turn face or whatever, and because it's always got to be the McMahons versus the McMahons.
Yep.
It's never going to be a random group of wrestlers come up against them and overcome the McMahons. They always have to be on a winning side. So it'll probably be Vince as a face, rehired him or something. And they'll have his team, and then they'll go against them. And it won't really be about the wrestlers or Daniel Bryan or anything like that. It'll be about Vince versus his son-in-law, and Vince against his daughter, and they'll have promos back and forth and all that shit. That's pretty much what's going to be happening. So.
Can't wait. I cannot wait. So, oddly enough, SmackDown this week, no Big Show, no mention of why
That's because they were they all went to Abu Dhabi.
Right.
And they left all the lesser, I don't want to say lesser guys, but the B team, I guess, in their eyes.
Was
left for SmackDown.
Yep.
And, there you go.
Well, speaking of which, let's talk about that. So, the show opens up with Del Rio and Vicky Guerrero. And basically, Vicky...
Oh, we forgot about HBK.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Let's mention that.
You should mention that.
There will be a special guest referee now.
Well, first of all, they made 3 different choices. It was Booker, Bob Backlund, and HBK. I wonder who was going to win. But I don't know if you saw what they had Booker do. Is Booker goes out, he goes, I'll do whatever best for business.
Right.
To be like a kind of heelish, so
that
people would vote for him.
Right.
So HBK, of course, won. And,
right.
It's interesting, wrinkle.
That's an interesting angle because he's been involved with Orton in the past.
He explained that.
He's trained Daniel Bryan.
And he's best friends with Triple H.
He's best friends with Triple H, so... Well, I'm assuming he's going to be fair, They'll make him the Messiah complex.
But it can always be like he gets taken out and then someone else replaces him in the match.
Triple H comes out as the ref or some stupid
like
shit. Yeah. Well, we'll have to see at Hell in a Cell. So he is the special guest referee for Orton and Daniel Bryan at Hell in a Cell.
D-Bry, my fave 5. If Booker said that, then he would have won the vote.
Yeah, of course.
Then he would have won.
What? No, Booker's a heel now, apparently. I don't know.
No, they just had him say that to skew the voting,
All right, so SmackDown opens up with Del Rio and Vicky Guerrero. And Vicky's basically asking Del Rio, did you mean what you said on Raw? And Del Rio says, of course I did. Please get rid of it and take back this match with John Cena. I don't want it. Excuse me. And Vicky says, all right, well, if you meant it, then kiss me. So he kisses her, and then she says, no, now kiss me like the Mexicans do.
What the hell? What?
So then he like leans her back and does this romantic kiss to her, right?
Is that true?
Yes.
Wow, all right.
And then she says, oh, kiss me like the French. But it looks like his face, like he doesn't want to do it. And then she says, no, you don't have to do that, but you can kiss my ass instead. And then, of course, he wouldn't kiss her ass. And she says...
French kiss the ass? Is that what you meant?
Well, I hope not French kiss. That'd be pretty gross. And then she was like, well, doesn't matter what you do, I'm not going to rescind the match, so tough shit, basically. I'm not putting up with you, all right? Then, of all things, this is like so weird. Where do you hear this? I don't know if you heard about this.
No, I didn't hear it.
Damien Sandow comes out. He's a face now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they made him a face. So he comes out, he's not wearing his old stuff. Remember, he used to wear the pink and the purple?
Yeah.
Now he's wearing blue and black instead.
Yeah, because no one's going to cheer for a guy wearing pink.
So he comes out,
Bret Hart.
he says, this man's a charlatan, he doesn't actually respect you. But however, I actually do, but I don't respect you for physical reasons. I like your intellect. You're a very intelligent woman, and that's why I respect you. And the crowd's like, what is going on here? They're all confused. They're like, what? Like, what is happening? So then they announce there's going to be a match tonight. Sandow versus Del Rio.
He's good now.
It's like, what? Like, the biggest...
He's good.
The weirdest flip out of, like, nowhere. Like, for no reason at all. It's just so odd, right?
Yeah. You know what? They probably should have just kept him with Cody the whole time. And like the way to turn him face is maybe like they're beating down Cody.
Yeah.
And then he comes to help
saves
him. And he goes, you're my bro, and I was wrong. And at least that's some kind of a reason, you know. Instead of just going, he's good.
It was just very, very weird and confusing. Very odd. All right, so then the first match of the night was Curtis Axel against R-Truth, and this was so dumb. So where do you hear this? It's for the title, okay?
Yeah.
The reason it's for the title is because R-Truth pinned Curtis Axel in the tag team match on Raw. Okay, maybe that'll put him in the #1 contenders.
But they already had those...
They just had the match.
They just had the match.
During the match, I swear to you, I'm not kidding, Michael Cole says that, oh, there was an exclusive interview with R-Truth, and R-Truth, before this match, said that he really wants to do well because he hasn't had a title match in a long time.
He just had it
They just had it on Sunday.
And they did the same storyline where he pinned him in the non-title match.
It's basically, literally, they're pretending like Sunday didn't happen. They're like these matches didn't happen, so we're redoing them this week.
Just to continue the you know, whatever.
It doesn't matter. Basically, Axel ends up winning. It's a good match, by the way, but Axel ends up winning, and so the whole thing was completely pointless to begin with. This next match was a 5-star. Los Matadores versus Los Locales.
Los Matadores!
So who are Los Locales? Obviously, it's two local wrestlers, right?
Yeah.
Los Matadores, they have this thing. They have this shtick.
A spectacle fit for Plaza de Toros.
That's what it says.
Itself.
Yes.
The dynamic new tag team sensation, Los Matadores.
This is what it says on
Reign
the
all over the fellow masked competitors, Los
God.
Locales.
Oh my God.
And when one opponent attempted a post-match assault, El Torito helped the Matadores repel him from the ring. Yes.
Ole! Ole!
There you go, yes. There you go, yes.
Oh my God. I'm just gonna go to the next match.
Was one of them actually Ricardo? That's what people are saying.
No. I don't think so.
Well, he's a local in a locale or in.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know if that
maybe
was.
I
don't know if that was actually him.
Maybe it was really him then. I don't know. Some people are saying it was.
Yeah, maybe.
I
don't think it mattered.
We have Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls teaming up with Natalya, Caitlyn, and Eva Marie. Another weird match. It was very short. Not a lot of stuff going on in this match.
Well, that's some good writing there. I don't know who did that. That was very good.
I hate to say it, but Caitlyn, she's been off TV for what, two and a half months now. She actually gained weight, which I hate to say, but she did.
What? That's okay.
I'm just saying. I
don't mind that.
It's an observation.
See, I don't mind it.
I'm not saying she's bad looking or anything. I'm just saying she gained weight. It's pretty apparent.
She's better looking.
Like she was wearing the same outfit like she used to wear, and she was like coming out of it, and I was like,
What was coming out of it, Phil? Things aren't supposed to.
A few rolls.
See, I like to like that kind of thing.
Well, if you like it, you like it.
That's what I like.
But it's not a very good match. Pretty quick. Once again, Eva Marie is green, and just so happens that Brie Bella and the Funkadactyls win the match. Whatever. Del Rio versus Damien Sandow is a very long match, I have to say. I think that they had like 1 to 2 commercial breaks in between it, so they actually dragged it out. But apparently, Mr. Money in the Bank suffered a arm injury during his match against Dolph Ziggler. When this was, I don't know, because they never mentioned it before. Supposedly he had an arm injury that Del Rio decided to capitalize.
Was Dolph on the show?
No, he was not.
Dolph Ryder, was he on the show?
He was not. He did not. He was not on the show. Okay. So Del Rio basically makes him tap out. After a long match, Del Rio wins, makes him tap out. The Primetime Players and the Great Khali versus the three-man band. This is the weirdest thing ever because the Primetime Players tried to dance with Khali, and Khali can't move. So there was just like them yanking his arms. And
did
he
he have a whistle? A snake charming?
No, he did not do snake charm, but they actually did reference the snake charming gimmick from like 2 weeks ago.
How could you not?
The announcers referenced it, but
you have to do that.
And
it'd be great if he pulled it out. He started controlling like Titus, and his arms were snakes, and he's punching himself in the face. That'd be fun. And then we could read about this great writing they have here.
Okay. So the
fantastic display.
The main event.
Great Khali pulled out the flute and controlled Titus O'Neil.
Oh my god. The main event of the night was Cody Rhodes and Goldust once again teaming up. This time against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper. So it seems like every week they're going to be teaming them up against tough tag team matches. And this is a good match. This was a match where basically the Harpers, the Wyatts, just basically had to be big, strong, lumbering dudes. Yeah. That's what they play that role well at this point.
Beat them down. And
they don't do anything special, you know, but they do their role well.
They can. They have the ability to.
You know, so they're beating the whole story is they're trying to isolate each Rhodes brother, you know, so that they can't get the tag. It's cool because at the beginning of the match, they tag in. Which one is the one who wears the mask? Is that Rowan or Harper?
The one that's bald is Rowan.
Okay, so Rowan gets tagged in. He's wearing the sheet mask, and the announcers are like, "Wow, this is creepy." It's the guy in the sheet mask versus Goldust, two weirdos, right? Goldust goes up to his face, and he's like looking at this mask, and he goes,
"Oh yeah!"
to the sheep mask. It's hilarious.
That's how you do it.
And then he goes to grab him, and he immediately drops and uppercuts the mask off his face. It was like a really good spot. It was well done.
It's great that Goldust is back. I mean, 2013. Well, basically 2014 now.
He hasn't been on the mainstream stuff in quite some time.
I mean, events there. Goldust is back in full force.
Yeah. It'll be good.
It's interesting.
It's good. So
you need guys like that. You need your Jericho. You need guys with experience to help these guys, along. Tell stories.
Yep.
To use their buzzwords.
So
that was it for SmackDown.
Well, we didn't mention that the Rhodes brothers win, and this is actually the first time the Wyatts have lost.
Yeah,
it's important
they'll be losing a lot more coming up.
Of course, now, but
I don't think they have much of a program.
So now it's the two matches in a row. If you think about it, they beat the Shield on Sunday. They didn't win on Monday, but still, they faced the Shield again on Monday, and now they've beaten the Wyatts. Like the Rhodes brothers are on fire right now. They're kind of the hottest thing right now in WWE. And by the way, they're not the same fucking thing that you've seen for the past 4 months, like everything else. So very good. Now we'll talk about TNA this week. Which,
I didn't watch this either, but
Dixie.
I heard it had like one of the worst openings ever.
Dixie is full on heel.
Yeah.
And you can tell she's trying to play Stephanie. Dixie is trying to be Stephanie McMahon.
She's using some of her terminology.
But she's terrible at it. She botches what she's saying. She says things too fast. She doesn't emphasize the right things when she's talking.
Yeah, she sucks.
It just seems like someone's in a rambling conversation with her promos.
She's probably just going off off her head instead of
right, instead of something that's scripted.
Yeah.
So it's very bad. Very, very bad.
I don't know if you remember the night when they did the Monday night impacts, one of them opened with Eric Bischoff playing a guitar.
Oh my god!
And people were saying this was the worst, entrance to a show since then.
Wow!
As soon as I saw that back then, I knew that they were going back to Thursday. I was like, this is, they're not staying on Mondays for long.
So basically, as Dixie comes out, she's like, I didn't need Hogan. Hogan's gone. AJ, he's disrespectful. Blah blah blah. All the same crap, right? So as they're going through this. It's actually Sting who comes out and confronts her this week, and he says, "Dixie, what's going on? I don't know you to ever be a person like this." And basically, she turns on Sting and says, "Oh no, screw you, Sting. You don't respect me. Who are you out here to attack me too?"
Well, that's funny. Screw you, Sting. I mean,
fine. You can be treated just like everyone else. And so tonight, I'm putting you in a tag team match with Magnus. And if you don't win this match, you don't get your match at Bound for Glory with Magnus that you want so dearly. Okay. So it's like a high stakes. He has to win this match with teaming with Magnus, even though they're kind of at odds right now. So it's kind of weird. All right. It's announced there's going to be a match, Jeff Hardy versus Austin Aries.
Yeah.
Okay.
A rematch of last year's.
Yes.
Main event of Bound for Glory.
And I'm trying to remember, I believe Aries wins with an insane brainbuster. This is nuts. It's a super brainbuster from the top rope.
Liger style.
And he does it perfectly. I remember, I was like, wow, that was really well done. And it was a good match. These guys went back and forth, you know. It could have went either way. It was a really well done match. After the match, it's announced that basically the X Division match, the Ultimate X match that they're going to have, it's going to be, geez, now there's so many people in this freaking match.
King in it now.
Austin Aries, Jeff Hardy, Manic, Chris Sabin, and now Joe. Samoa Joe comes out.
Remember what I said, like, what's Joe going to do?
Right.
And Joe's got to be on there, so he stuck him in there.
They stuck him in the Ultimate X match.
I don't know, man. Joe deserves better. And Kenny King's not in the show at all.
Yep.
He probably regrets leaving Ring of Honor, honestly. I mean, he was on the shows.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not using him right now.
And Joe, like, why does Joe care about the X title? Why does Chris Sabin care about the X title? These are former world champions.
Right, and now it's like the big focus is
Jeff Hardy, too, right? He's going for the X title?
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy, a multi-time champion?
Yeah.
I'll go for the X title.
This is what they do.
It is.
They build up their people too quickly. They give them the title, and then they don't know what to do with them afterwards. And they
absolutely.
Just deflate them.
You look at so many of them. Bobby Roode. I mean, he was the hottest. He was probably the best heel in wrestling at that moment. And just, as soon as they don't know what to do anymore.
Toss him into random shit.
Jeff Hardy. I mean, he's not. I don't know. I mean, they don't know what to do anymore.
I don't know.
Chris Sabin, they elevated him. They don't know how to keep it going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe's at an all-time low. I mean.
There's nothing to do. There's
nothing to do.
A random X Division match because there's nothing for him to do.
These guys have nothing to do, yeah.
Now this is so stupid. The Bromans are in a campaign against ODB and Eric Young.
Who is?
The Bromans.
Oh.
It's so dumb. And the thing that gets me, we know that in recent months TNA has lost a lot of talent. How the fuck did these two guys stay behind?
Because they don't get paid anything.
You know what I mean?
They're probably not really.
Of all the people to keep with your company, you let the other people go and you keep the Bromans. Like,
how much do you think Jesse Goders gets? I don't think it's like,
I guess it's a good point. ODB ends up beating Jesse, but it's because of a DQ, and it's really stupid. The angle's dumb. No one cares about it. Really, seriously. So anyway, Lady Tapa for 2 weeks now has been, coming in and interfering. She interferes in this match, too. Attacks ODB.
Seems like they're setting something up. Like, ODB's probably going to win at the payper-view. And then
I would think so. I mean,
she'll come out again.
Right now they have no one for Lady Tapa, or they have no one for ODB to wrestle, really, because all the knockouts left. So really it looks like it's going to be, eventually Lady Tapa and ODB, because that's obviously why Lady Tapa is attacking every week. Okay?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
You see what it says? Who wrote this?
What?
Garrett Bischoff bitches at Bully Ray.
He bitches
at Bully. What the fuck?
This is some fan,
Oh, it's not TNA, I guess.
TNA doesn't have results on their fucking website.
Okay. I thought it was like
they don't even do it. Yeah, they don't do it.
TNA site. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. A little saucy there.
All right, so let's see here. Bad Influence does their whole Hall of Fame thing. Remember we said they were going to have their
I actually saw
Hall of
this.
Fame?
I turned it on. I watched about 15 minutes. I saw this. I saw the match after this.
Yes. So their egos.
They were dressed like Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it was the suits from Dumb and Dumber.
All right.
Yeah, it's the suits from Dumb and Dumber. And Bobby Roode comes out, and of course they're kissing his ass. They're going to induct him into the Ego Hall of Fame, blah, blah, blah. As they're doing this, he gets interrupted by Kurt Angle. And he's like, I'm going to be in the real Hall of Fame. What you're doing is disrespectful. How dare you? Get out of my ring, blah, blah, blah. He takes off his shirt. He's ripped for some, all of a sudden he's ripped out of nowhere.
Yeah, he's working out, I guess, in rehab. He was just pumping iron or something.
Yeah, you got to do something, right?
Do something, yeah.
So he comes out, beats the shit out of all three of them, and it's announced that he's going to wrestle Bobby Roode at Bound for Glory. Out of nowhere. This is a match now, okay?
It's interesting.
There was a Knockouts #1 Contenders title match. It was Velvet Sky with Chris Sabin against Brooke.
I saw this. Ridiculous.
Stupid as hell.
Chris Sabin is playing the heel boyfriend, so she does her little ass thing. He covers her with a coat, and she goes up. She goes up to the ropes. It poses. He covers the tits.
Covers everything.
He's like, no, we can't see. And she's like, "I'll stop," or whatever. And then he basically cost her the match.
I heard that you were very upset of the covering of the tits and ass.
How many times have you seen this before? You just go on YouTube. There's hours worth of footage.
It's like 4-hour montage of Velvet Sky.
There probably is
the ring,
slow mo and everything. But,
so it basically makes Velvet Sky lose the match because he distracts her during the match.
Thing, do you really care? Do you really care? Oh my God, her boyfriend is a jerk. and he's costing her. Like, do you really does that really affect you in any way? Like, oh,
Right.
it's ridiculous, you know. Now what?
All right, we had Sting and Magnus against Bad Influence.
When is Bound for Glory, by the way?
I think it's a week from this. Is it a week
It's
from
next
this
week?
Sunday? I think it might be next week. Yeah.
Wow. So there's only one show left to
Yeah.
promote this.
One more week's worth of build up. So yeah, Sting and Magnus against Bad Influence. It's a good match. It's everything you expect. You know, they're all doing their spots. Sting wins with the Scorpion Death Trap. So they keep their match at Bound for Glory.
And then Daniels and Kaz, like, they get killed by Angle. Then they have a match.
Right.
And they lose.
And they lose.
They're like basically job mode.
Let's see. AJ Styles in a handicap match against Garrett Bischoff and Nux. Okay.
Just Nux is just fun, like, just the name.
I know.
Like,
Nux.
anytime I like see him,
Nux.
or like hear someone say his name, I just like laugh a little bit. It's just like so.
So basically, there's dissension in Aces and Eights. There's only 2 members left besides Bully.
There's dissension.
Yeah.
The 2 people.
Garrett Bischoff and Nux are the only 2 left in Aces and Eights with Bully. Of course, Taz says he is, but he's not really because he doesn't wrestle.
He's not an active guy who's gonna take
Right.
bumps or hit anybody.
So they have this argument in the back, and Dixie basically made this stipulation during the night that since AJ's such a jerk to her, that Bully can put AJ in any kind of match tonight that he wants. So Bully decides he's going to have Bischoff and Nux have a handicap match against AJ Styles. He thinks it'll reinvigorate them, that they'll stop being so pissed off that the club's falling apart and blah, blah, blah. Of course, this prompts AJ to roll up one of them, win the match, and it just backfires because now they're like, what the hell, you know.
Right.
They couldn't get the job done.
Some of the AJ Bully promos were good. Last week I saw some of that.
It's the same. It's more of the same. I mean, at this point, the thing is, I just don't like the Dixie Carter.
Dixie thing is horrible.
It's terrible. She can't do it well. If she could do it well, maybe I would be sold on it. If she's doing terrible at it,
Again, though, it's like
I don't blame her. I think this is creative, telling her that this is a good idea. Be like the McMahons. It's like we're already tired of McMahons.
she's legit the boss. So we're
Right.
trying to get on the boss's good side. Hey, let's make you the star. You know, a lot of people don't have that self,
Right.
reflection where they can go, wait a second, I'm not good at this. I shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
If you wave the the golden carrot in someone's face, they're gonna go, okay, I'll eat that shit. You know.
Right.
But again, like, who cares about the story? Do you really care that the owner of the company is crooked and trying to screw AJ and same about the WWE? Do you care that the McMahons are evil in control and that's what you care about?
Right. We care about the talent, and and that's what.
No matter what they
the
say,
focus isn't on the talent anymore.
They say it's not wrestling, it's entertainment, blah blah blah. Like, people get most excited when you look at things when it's a match that people care about. That's where people get the most excited for something. Who's going to win this match?
Take a look at
It's so far gone from
out of
basics.
all the crap we just talked about of the whole night.
There's no wrestling in there.
Crap fest, right? No, there was one wrestling match. Austin Aries against Jeff Hardy, and people loved it.
Yeah.
The crowd went nuts. Fucking brainbuster from the top rope. That's the kind of stuff that sells tickets. Not this wrestle crap that's in between everything else. It's the wrestling, and they need to focus on the wrestling, and that's not what either company is doing.
Yeah, WWE TNA is very far gone from like just the basics of what what it was and what people I think really want, what it should be. In a lot of ways, It's 2 guys fighting. They're pissed off at each other. They're fighting for a belt, or you took my woman, or you kicked my ass. I want revenge, and it's just simple stuff, man.
Stole my urn.
It's basic shit. You pissed me off. I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you instead of talking to you for 15 minutes off a script. It's not entertaining to listen to. Or a 7-foot dude. He should be destroying people. Some cry. It's
for weeks, just
right.
not cry.
Triple H and Stephanie, great. These guys are awesome. You're young. You're vivacious. You have a long way to go in running this company, and it's gonna be your thing. Oh, cool. That's great. I feel good for you. Why are you on the show just burying people? Stephanie doesn't give anything back. Like, she just takes and takes.
Right.
Just cringeworthy stuff.
At least that's the thing that we can say for Triple H. At least
finally he
finally took something, right? After all the weeks of build up.
If it wasn't for Brian,
he took the punch.
It was a big show.
Right. So it's like, at least he took something. Stephanie never. She can't hit a girl,
Stephanie's never going to get anything. Maybe they'll do the thing where they dump like some feces on her or something. Something not stupid like that. But it's never going to be. She's never going to give back what she's taken. Right. Same with him. Like, that wasn't. They just run people down, man.
Right. Yeah.
We're the show. So.
Okay, so that is it for Smark Guys this week. Just so everyone knows, there will not be a episode of Smark Guys next week because I'll be taking some time off, the final time off that I'll be taking until December.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's right. So after this coming weekend, we'll be doing co-op and different stuff. I mean, if you think about it, we got Lego Marvel Superheroes. I don't know how long it's going to take us to beat that.
Batman.
We're going to have the new Batman, right? We could try out Batman multiplayer. We're going to have the WWE 2K14. I'm sure people might want to see us try to do some crazy Sims and stuff in that. We've got the launches of PS4 and Xbox One coming up.
So we're going to be doing Dead Rising.
We're basically going to, every week, we're going to be doing different stuff. So that means that after this next week where we're taking time off, there will be a new episode of Smart Guys for several weeks until December. December we'll reboot, and I'll let everyone know exactly what my schedule will be.
Yeah, I took a couple weeks off at the end of the month.
And let's be honest anyway, John. I mean, really, this next week, it's just going to be another week of the same shit from WWE.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, it's even worse because there's still another, was 2 Raws before the pay-per-view.
Yes.
So next one's going to be Ultra, just kill time.
Right.
And
TNA, we already know the card now. We know the card, so we know what's coming up for Bound for Glory, so it's just going to be one more week to push the same thing. I really don't think we're going to miss out on too much.
I'm tempted to watch Bound for Glory just because it's their biggest show.
And it's finally a real pay-per-view, right?
And it's like, give them I like to give them that chance once a year by the show.
Right.
Last year, but maybe not.
We shall see.
I don't know.
We'll see what they do with it. So, thank you everyone for watching another edition of Smart Guys. We appreciate it. We'll see you in 2 weeks with the recap. At that point, it'll be the recap of Bound for Glory, the final lead-in into Hell in a Cell. We'll have lots of stuff for you. So, thanks a lot. For John Rambo, I am Darkside Phil, signing off. Peace out. See you later.
Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.